If someone you trusted gave you a poisoned apple and you ate it, you'd first be in shock that someone you trust and loved gave you such an apple before you actually died. If someone you trusted told you an apple you were going to eat was poisoned, there was a higher chance that you'd believe them and not eat the apple at all because you love and trust them, don't you? Now, I'm not saying you should trust me, but what I am telling you is, would you believe me if I told you that the opening ceremony of the Olympics was the biggest piece of dog shit that you will ever see in your entire life? The first reason why you may believe that statement is not only because you trust me with the value I've given in my past few episodes on the youth and South Africa's crisis, but also because I have undeniable evidence of this fact. You see, the Olympic Games started a few weeks ago and everyone was excited about it and it was all hyped. And not only was I underwhelmed by all this hype, but I just had that feeling, an itch, that something was just gonna go wrong. Because you've lived long enough, if watching this video, you've lived long enough to know that if something is overhyped, something's gonna go wrong. We live in 2024, a year where there's more unmaskings than ever. Famous people and models are revealed to be the child predators they truly were, and the Olympics is also finally showing its true colors by showing that it's been against the Eastern agenda the entire time. I, as a football fan, was genuinely excited for the Olympic Games. It's a natural thing. As a football fan, you're excited for these tournaments, these tough, heartbreaking tournaments, these tough dopamine-hitting tournaments, because the Euros had just ended, Copa America had just ended. So naturally, as a football fan, when these tournaments end, you'd be excited for another one. Not knowing that my decision to stay up at night and watch the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games was as bad of a decision as the South African education system. I so regretted watching that ceremony, I started to think why I didn't watch something else like a Bollywood series or something. That is what I would have rather done than stay up at night to watch the horrendous performance I saw. If you know what I'm talking about, you'll know that not only was there the most immoral farce junk in that ceremony, but there was a mockery of perhaps the most important thing in Christianity as a whole, as an event, which was the Last Supper. In case you don't know what the Last Supper is, I'm not a priest, but I will give you a quick recap of what the Last Supper is in case you don't know. The Last Supper is a very special event celebrated in Christianity, which celebrates the night Christ had with his apostles for the very last time before he underwent the passion and was crucified and died for the salvation of many, including you and me. For the Catholic faith, that was the night Mass had started. Mass is an unbloody sacrifice that takes place of our Lord on the cross every day on the altar and the tabernacle around the world. Now that you know what the Last Supper is, I'm pretty sure you understand why this is such a problem. Because these people committed a live sacrilege on live television in front of all these Christian people. Not only the Christian people, you don't have to be Christian to know that what these people did was absolutely disgusting. It was the biggest piece of dog shit you could ever see. Who would do such a thing? What did these Christians do to you? It's obviously to push some agenda, if I'm not mistaken. Why target a certain religion? Why do so? If I were to ask you why these people did what they did, the amount of answers you as a whole would give me are dozens. You'd give me dozens of answers. But despite those dozens of answers you would give me, I can tell that the majority of you people who comment down on why these people may have done this, all the reasons you give me will have a common reason. One of them being that it's to push a certain agenda. You see, even a blind man can see that the God-fearing thing is kind of leaving the world right now. And the agenda of there is no God and you don't have to worry about it is being pushed. This is why the Muslims are so strict with their religions, because they know the agenda that's being pushed around the world. I wouldn't say us as Christians are doing the same thing, but in the end, we need to admit that we are seeing such things happening before our very eyes. What does the Pope have to say about this? I don't know. But in all honesty, he's probably gonna say something like, "Oh, come on, guys. What was it, just a mockery? Let them go to confession, they'll be fine." I mean, we respect all religions anyway, and we never know that them mocking the Last Supper was a religion in itself. Yeah, it is a religion in itself, Mr. Pope. It's called Satanism. Now, I know you accept all religions as a person, which the Catholic Church doesn't do. I know you do. But my question to you is, if you accept all religions, does Satanism count as one of them? Because it's pretty much a religion, and you said you accept all of them, right? And look, I'm not trying to sound like some harsh critic or some conspiracy theorist, but even a blind and deaf person can see that there is something going on here. You can't just wake up one morning and say we're going to mark one of the biggest events in the history of the church You don't just wake up in the morning and do that. This was planned. It's almost as if it's a sign of what's going to happen to the children of the future. To think the children of the future are going to grow up with this. To think there is a little boy, there is a little girl somewhere out there who watched that night. It just disgusts me and it turns me inside out. And I don't want to watch the Olympic Games anymore because I just refuse to personally watch something that disrespects my religion. I mean, everyone wants their things respected, so why can't I have my religion respected? Is it too much to ask? I thought that's what you were pushing. I thought you pushed the agenda that everyone should have their respective opinions respected. So you're gonna let my religion be disrespected while you have woke people everywhere claiming to have their religions quote unquote disrespected. It just can't stand. It's almost as if they're sending a big fuck you and trying to tell us that this is what we're going to do to your children. We're going to indoctrinate them and we're going to show them that this is what is right. We're going to show them that God is wrong. We're going to show them that the people are their own gods. And we're going to show them that there are no consequences to one's actions and they can do whatever they want in their youthful stages. It's almost as if that's what they're trying to say. I mean, I'm not trying to criticize anyone here, but I am criticizing the fact that they disrespected a very respected religion. Scratch out the fact that that religion is respected. You disrespected millions of people around the world that night. You mocked an event that involved Jesus Christ himself when he was still on this earth. And you expect me to sweep that under the rug and watch the Olympics as a Christian, pretending that nothing happened and cheer for you sacrilegious, dopamine-hitting nipnuts. Yeah, I'm sorry, that's not happening. If you honestly think I can watch the entire Olympics without feeling as guilty as shit and without going to confession telling Father that, look, Father, I watched these imbeciles mock my God in front of me and did nothing about it and swept it under the rug, then you must be as utterly insane as the people who orchestrated that ceremony. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not watching the Olympic Games anymore. And as much as I was convinced to not watch the Olympic Games anymore after the opening ceremony, I said, why not just wait until one game and my mind may change? Until I saw the Argentina and Morocco soccer match, which ended in one of the most controversial ways I have ever seen a soccer match end. The 90 minutes was gone, the additional time was gone, but the players went back to the field. And the decision was changed. It was 3-3 no longer. No. You thought the match was over? Well, joke's on you. The match is over when the referee says the match is over. Even if it's been more than 5 minutes after the match actually ended and the whistle was blown. No, I'm gonna call these players into my field. I'm gonna tell them my rules and I'm gonna give them my decision. And the decision is that Morocco has won, despite the whistle being blown and the final decision having been 3-3. I don't know about you guys. I still have some questions about that match. And comment down if that's actually allowed. Are you actually allowed to change the goal results after the match has ended? I don't know about that, but that and the Olympic Games opening ceremony just hasn't convinced me to watch the Olympics anymore. I'm sorry. Tell me what you think. Goodbye.